Hey everyone, it's Sly47 here. This month we're going to be talking about commanders. I have talked about commanders in the past, and I believe the commanders 101 and 201 videos still apply in many different cases for Blitz. But there's been a lot of questions recently on YouTube and on Discord about where do you put them, how do you do them, everything like that. So in order to seal that information down, we're going to do an entire month of it because yes, we have a full spreadsheet of commanders that are legendary and epic to go through, and there are a lot of them. Doing them all in one video would be incredibly long, so I'm going to split it up and create an even workload for me to go through all of them. So special shout out to Tach for getting me that spreadsheet in order to make this all possible, so thank you so much. And then also special shout out to the CIC website for providing even additional examples of where things go and how things work. Highly would suggest go and check out them. I will make sure their link is down below in the description of all these videos. They are not completely updated to 7.0 right now, but they are working on it. It is a free resource, so please give them time in order to do that. If you want to go help them out, please let them know. They are gladly looking for assistance right now in keeping the website up to date with all of the latest information. But today, I wanted to start off today with a little bit of a fun video instead of just information. I wanted to hit on the top 10 legendary and one epic commander kind of type of thing. I'll get to it. I'll explain it. But we're going to talk about the top 10 legendary commanders in Blitz that I would suggest if you see these for a good deal, pick them up, as they will make or break their lines that they are in, and also are just applicable to multiple different scenarios within this. So they are, hey, if you're a DD player, cruiser player, battleship player, maybe even a CV player, they might offer everything for you. The later videos that I will be doing this month will be more of an info dump style of me going through every single one in order to explain why I think they should go somewhere. And then of course those videos are going to be offering the community the ability to also say, hey, by the way, did you know this commander works for this one, this commander doesn't work for this one, type of idea. So that'll be more of a community effort on those videos along with my thoughts. So that'll be good. But today we're just gonna have some fun. Top 10, let me know yours in the comment section down below what you would do. And I have a few runners up off the bat. So editing Sly, take it away. Let's put some gameplay in the background. Let's put our feet up. We're gonna have some fun here today in talking about legendary commanders. But to start off, we're going to talk about the three runner-ups that I have. So for these three, I wanted to talk about them because they are powerful enough that I would highly suggest a lot of people to pick them up, even though they're not in my top 10. They're not the first ones I think about, but these are, out of the rest of the ones that are available, these are the ones that come to my mind as well. I think, but yeah, let's go over the runners up. First up, that is we have Kuznetsov for the Russian lines. He works for everything. There is nothing he does not help. He, of course, helps heavier ships like heavy cruisers and battleships much more, but he still offers just about everything you want with Sixth Sense and everything for maybe even DDs in order to know when to GTFO out of a situation. So Kuznetsov is a highly suggested one for a lot of different Russian ships. There is a technical better one, but that is going to be in the top 10 list, so we'll get to him eventually. Secondly, Halsey. A lot of people like to say Halsey is important. OP, oh my god, you got to have him, everything like that. No, in my opinion, he's a meme, but that meme is a really good meme. He's a really strong meme, and I love him because he just basically says, oh, you're killing me? I'm near death? I have now become death, the destroyer of worlds. That is what Halsey does. He is expert at just taking damage and then just dishing it right back to the receiver, or to the sender. So highly would suggest Halsey as well. He's a fun time, but I definitely would say there's no real great ship. I know the Austin is definitely one for him to kind of peek out at, and like that, and maybe even the Buffalo, but overall he works just about on everything. And it's just, hey, if you're ever at low health, he does more damage and he shoots faster. What's not to enjoy? Next up, the epic commander on here. I want to talk about this one because he is so key and critical to just making any US ship even better, and that is Oldendorf. So Oldendorf punches above his weight. There's a lot of legendary commanders that realistically only have 2 to 3 skills that matter to their overall success and kind of buff they give in comparison to regular commanders. Oldendorf gives you 2 very critical skills to heavy hitting US ships like basically Des Moines, Montana, Louisiana, and Vermont. He makes every single one of those better. Pure, simple, stupid, done. Ollendorf punches above his weight and, in my opinion, basically qualifies as a legendary commander in my mind. So those three are runner-ups. Now we're going to move on to my top 10. Now, these are not exactly in any particular order because, hey, you might play one thing over the other, so prioritize these however you view. For me, these are the legendary commanders to get in World of Warships Blitz if you can and if you play those lines, because these are just really good buffers to the entire lines that they affect. Sometimes they literally affect them all. So let's jump into the first one up the bat is BD. So BD on the British HMS line is definitely more for the Minotaur. But because of his skills and how it all works, he technically works on Goliath and he works on St. Vincent and on Conqueror. Doesn't matter, he helps with all of his capabilities. Especially with that Mistweaver, generally I'd say more towards the Goliath, more towards the Minotaur. And, once again, definitely just put him on the Minotaur if you play the Minotaur. But if you have him, he really works on the St. Vincent and stuff. So, literally, just once again, he just works on everything highly would suggest it. Now, on to Swirsky. So, Swirsky, basically, I've said since the beginning, since the EU DDs have gone out, is that if you own Swirsky, you go up the European DD line. Period. End of point. End of question. Even if you don't like DDs, he makes them insanely good and insanely fun, especially with the ability to make his radars come back faster, which is, I think, one of the only abilities in this game that does that for radars, which is just super powerful for them and absolutely allows them to shut any form of smoke-based ship down and just makes them feel very, very comfortable to play as their heavy DD light cruiser-esque playstyle is, along with a bunch of flooding. So if you do have Swirsky, definitely go up the EU DD line. And if you are going up the EU DD line and don't have Swirsky and you see him, pick him up. You'll notice a huge difference in capabilities once you have him. Now, going back to the HMS area, we are going for Nelson. So Horatio Nelson is, in fact, insane on the St. Vincent. He really is. His capabilities of just the amount of heals that he brings and the amount of capabilities he brings to the St. Vincent line make them devastating. But let's say you don't want to go St. Vincent line. You want to go down any other line, any other thing in anything British. He just makes them purely better. So yeah, get Horatio Nelson. You can actually get him from Collection Book, though it is a little bit expensive in order to get that. But hey, that is a confirmed way to get it, so at least you're not having to hit the crates. Next up, staying in the British land, it is Jellicoe. Now, Jellicoe is a fantastic fit for the British heavy cruisers. Now, this line kind of sucks, but once you get to the Goliath, Jellicoe makes the Goliath pretty much competitive, makes it absolutely nuts. But let's say you have Jellicoe, don't want to go down Goliath, don't want to deal with grinding that. Well, St. Vincent works, Conqueror works, Minnow, he works. He just makes everything better because of how much healing he brings. He makes everything tankier, so why not get him? I still don't have him on main account, and I desperately want him for any ship that I have because it's just absolutely nuts. Now we move on to a Russian commander. Remember earlier when I said that there was a better commander than Kuznetsov? This is it. This is Stepan Makarov. Makarov has APCS Plus and a bunch of offensive skills that Kuznetsov, while he's kind of sits back, tankier, allows you to live a bit longer, Makarov says, throw that to the wind, I'm going to kill things faster. And that's what he does. With APCS Plus and a bunch of other abilities, his capabilities that he brings to any Russian warship, doesn't matter what you want to play, he buffs that ship. Period. There is nothing better to put on than Stepan Makarov. So if you want to buff the Pietro and make it very, very competitive, you put Makarov on it. You want to make the Kremlin competitive, you put Makarov on it. You want to make the Nevsky feel just dang good, put Makarov on it. Delny, put Makarov on it. That's basically the answer to it. For me, I put Kuznetsov actually on my Pietro, and that's actually pretty nice and tanky. I'm putting Makarov on my Kremlin to absolutely Citadel crisis the crap out of things, and that makes the Kremlin a monster of a ship. So let me know where you put Stefan Makarov if you have him on there. Now, moving on to another APCS Plus commander, we have Hipper. Now, Hipper is the most offensive German legendary commander. There's a plethora of German commanders that all give a little bit of a different thing, and to me, Hipper is the key one to own. Also, he ends up actually being one of the easier ones to own, which is even better because he can be put on any ship with that APCS Plus for Germans, and once again, all of German ships use AP incredibly well. So APCS Plus buffs them all. So once again, he generally goes on everything. Though I would say that he would more or less benefit going on one of the heavier ships, so the Hindi, the Schlieffen, and the GK, with the Schlieffen being my pick of where I would put him. But of course, he works on everything. Let me know where you put Hipper, because he can go on just about everything. Next up, for the Japanese legendary commanders, we have Makawa. So a lot of people go, what about Yamamoto? What about everything like that? It's like, realistically, when you look at how many ships Yamamoto can go on versus how much Makawa helps, especially with premiums, anything with torpedo reload, Night Raid helps. Period. So Makawa, you can put him on everything, and he just helps. You have a Hayate? Yeah, there you go. Makawa helps. You have, I think, it's like Udachi, Asashio, the entire Hargumo line. He helps a ton of DD play and light cruiser play for the IJN area, and he's just a lot more applicable than Yamamoto. Though I do know Yamamoto is very historical and everything, and yes, Yamamoto's incredibly strong on the Yamato, but it's really where it ends. Maybe he's going to be good also on the Bongo line when it comes in, but right now I'd say Makawa comes in my opinion, a little bit more important than Yamato, depending on what you want to play. But yeah, that Night Raid skill is absolutely killer for any ship that has smoke, because you just get additional smoke, and additional smoke keeps you alive a lot longer, which means you can do more damage. Period. Now we go over to Felipe Abeneu. Now, hopefully I didn't slaughter the name too badly either, but Felipe, he's kind of the only good one. And I'm not saying that Jujard is bad. He's better than a normal commander, but that's not saying much. But Felipe Abeneu has the key and critical elements to making any and all French ships better. Just straight up better. And insanely better at that, with APCS Plus, Master Reloader Plus, and Engine Overload Plus. Yeah, Kleber works. Henri works. Marseille works. Republic works. Any premium works. He goes on everything. He makes everything better. He is also incredibly hard to get. So if you see him in an easy way, nab him and he will make any of your French ships purely better. He is nutso. I prefer him on the Henri, but I do know some people have used it to make the Marseille fairly good. And then, of course, Republic and Kleber. It's up to you of where you want to use that. But yeah, Felipe is absolutely insane and absolutely nuts. And probably if I were to go and rank all of these, which maybe I'll do an editing bay on that one, but if I were to rank them purely by how important they are to get, Felipe would be first, if not within the top 3. Now on to the last 2 legendary commanders, and both of them are from Italy. First up the bat, we have Luigi Sansonetti. Luigi worked on, once again, every single ship line for the Italians. So you can put him on anything. Mostly you're going to want to put him on Venezia, as he makes Venezia absolutely pretty nuts and almost having pre-nerf sap, which is just disgusting if you've ever seen those videos on that. But he also can work on Regolo, work on Colombo. He generally helps out everything and is a very versatile commander. But we're going to talk about another one here, which is Paulo. Paulo absolutely makes the Regolo line, in my opinion, extremely comfortable to play. And if you've ever seen any video from Red Gaming Dino or any other video, maybe even from Bob Lynn, you'll know that the Regolo is considered one of the top ships in this game, and in many ways it's because Paulo is pushing it up a bunch with kind of quality of life buffs. But Paulo also buffs just a lot of stuff that pretty much, guess what, the Venezia and the Colombo can use as well. So he's pretty much, once again, very convenient. But he's definitely more of a quality of life buff versus Sansonetti offering more direct, direct additives to your damage and capabilities in the game. And that is my list for my top 10 legendary commanders that pretty much come to my mind off the bat and say, hey, these are the ones that I would pick up first if I was in this game. Now, of course, everyone plays this game differently. Sometimes you might like one commander over another or favor one nation over the other. I'd love to know all of your thoughts down below. Next week, I will be going over every single legendary and epic commander for a few nations, and then a week after that, another set of nations on that. So if you are looking forward to it, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, make sure to see whenever a new video goes live or stream goes live. Thank you all for the love and support, and special shout out to the Patreon and YouTube members for helping support this channel. Thank you all for just the love and support, even just watching the video. Have a good day, everyone. Peace.
Well done. Our team is about to win. Torpedoes! Our team is about to win.